All right, it's Bill here. Before I get started, fantastic game tonight. Probably one of the best games I've seen this year. Now, what did one of the best games this year not have in it? Johnny T. Mitchie Marner. And Morgan Riley. I'm confused. Why could that be, Bill? Oh. Could that be proving my point that John Tavares is a terrible player? Sorry, a power play specialist, because the Leafs went 0 for 2 on the power play tonight. So maybe with Johnny T in the lineup, we go 1 for 2, but then the Blues get 2 goals because they put Robert Thomas up against John Tavares and it's over. Great effort tonight. I'm going to get into the Morgan Riley suspension in just a second. I'm sure that's the hot topic. I've got an opinion. I'll share it. But first, before I get started, I read some of the comments. They're awesome. You can tell they're Ottawa Senators fans. Yeah, you can tell an Ottawa Senators fan anywhere, usually. You can tell by their descriptive, their comments, the way they spell wine. See, what you got to do, guys, is you got to watch the video, right? You just don't see me start off doing a sarcastic, and of course you take it seriously, about me going at the refs a little bit, and then you think that I blame the refs for the game. If you would have just kept watching the video, but I know you got like ADD because how do you watch the Ottawa Senators play on a regular basis and enjoy hockey? I don't know. It's pretty bad hockey. But anyways, if you would have watched the video, I'm pretty sure I took it out on the Leafs defense and Johnny Tavares. I'm pretty sure I did that. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. Did I not put Johnny Tavares in the defense at horrible? And I think I even stated that while the refs were terrible, which they were, didn't blame them for the game. Didn't blame them for the game. So you got to keep watching, guys. I know you just want to bitch and complain because you probably live in Ottawa, right? So you're used to the politicians there that just bitch and complain all the time and find excuses for stuff. Good on you. But if you watch the video, I blamed John Tavares and I blamed the defense. Well, let's talk about the game tonight. The defense played great. TJ Brody's been playing right defense because Morgan Riley plays left. TJ Brody on the left-hand side tonight, way better. Way better. Lagesson, Benoit, great games. I'll even tip my hat to Jake McCabe. It's amazing how they played differently when they didn't have three. I kept saying 3 of their best players. Give me a break. Give me a break. Okay, maybe Mitch Marner is one of their best players. Maybe Morgan Riley. But there ain't no way Johnny T is one of their best players. Come on. Please. Keep sick, Johnny T. Just keep being sick, man. Don't come back in the lineup Thursday. No rush, bud. No rush. Get yourself healthy. If it's going to take you 17 weeks to get healthy, by all means, JT, take as much time as you want. And just for the Ottawa fans, if you're watching, it's called sarcasm. But take your time all you want, JT. Please. You should feel 102% before you come back in this lineup. 102%. Because I can tell you, you were not missed tonight. You're never missed. This has proven my point that without Johnny T in the lineup, they played great. Let's see how they played defensively. They gave up 15 shots. 15. Did we miss Mitchie Marner killing penalties? No, we did not. We did miss a little bit of the power play stuff. I'll give you that. That might have been missed a little bit. Great game. Where do I start with this one? Domi, Bertuzzi, Robertson looked like a revelation out there. I know Bertuzzi couldn't hit the broadside of a barn right now, but he played well. Domi played well. Played defensively very well. Sheldon Keefe made sure that Matthews was on the ice every time that Robert Thomas's line was on the ice. Good job, Sheldon. It works a lot better that way. It's just so nice. Anyways, great effort. And the goals of Bobby McCann with a hat trick. What do you know? Will wonders ever cease? Apparently not. But take a look at Bobby McCann's goals. First one, he takes it to the net. To the net. That's what happens when you go to the net. Nylander fires it at the net. Deflection in the net. Bobby McCann fires a beauty shot, and then he plays the perfect pool shot for his hat trick. Great stuff. Every line was clicking. At no point did I go, wow. And Samsonov, when he needed to, which was rare, made the big save. The only goal he let in was a deflection. I'm pretty sure Sheldon Keefe's going in the room. That might be the best game I've seen played this year. In my eyes, that's one of the best games. You're playing a good team. The St. Louis Blues just beat Montreal 7-2. Montreal just beat Anaheim. Okay, 5-0. That's a good team they played. A good, physical, hard team. This isn't playing San Jose Sharks and dominating. This is playing the St. Louis Blues. Half their team from Toronto. And they outworked them. They outplayed them. They played sound defensively. They did give up a couple 2-on-1s that got my heart racing. But the Leafs had breakaways. Not the other team. The Leafs had breakaways. It was like a game that was in the Twilight Zone from what I've seen in the last 10 games. The Leafs were just the better team. So congratulations. And let me again focus on the fact, who wasn't in the lineup? Johnny T. You can't go -3 without Johnny T. You go +3. Like plus. Like Bobby McCann's got to be a +3. Not a -3, +3. It's not golf. We want to be on the plus side of things. So, Johnny, take your time, bud. Too bad you didn't get the mono. Connor Timmins got mononucleosis. But as I said to Johnny T, make sure you get lots of nourishment and take your time. Take your time coming back. Mitch, probably need you back a little bit for that power play. Johnny T, take your time. Anyways, now let me get into the suspension. So if you don't want to listen to my thoughts on the suspension, go somewhere else. First of all, whether I agree with the games, and I frankly, I don't. I've never seen a suspension actually handed out where every single person that the announcers, the commentators all said it's too much. Have you heard that before? Where every single announcer goes, that's too much. Everyone said 2 to 3 games. For me, you got to explain this to me. There's a Blake Lizotte cross-check. I can show you all the cross-checks. There's a cross-check on Wayne Simmons. There's a cross-check on Blake Lizotte basically dropped Morrissey. 1 game, 0 games, $5,000 fine, and Morgan Riley with a 5-game suspension. Now, I don't buy into any of the conspiracy stuff. Yes, George Peros got knocked out by Colton Orr, and there's a conspiracy that's the point. And really, Colton Orr didn't knock him out. The ice knocked him out. He landed on the ice, which knocked him out. And George Peros was an awful NHL player. I get it. But they tend to be the one. Well, Shanahan was there in the Department of Justice or whatever they call that piece of garbage that they call Department of what? Player Security? Is that what they call it? Yeah, okay. Okay. So anyways, let's get into this. First of all, it's a Mickey Mouse league, and George Peros should get fired. Not because Morgan Riley got a 5-game suspension. I disagree with that vehemently, and I'll give you some examples in just a second. But how does it leak to Kevin Weeks? Kevin Weeks found out about the suspension and put it on Twitter, and that's how the Leafs found out. And Morgan Riley found out he got suspended because someone leaked it to Twitter. What kind of Mickey Mouse operation are you running? So someone in the Department of Player Safety leaks it to Kevin Weeks? Kevin Weeks? The guy was a 3rd-string goalie. Kevin Weeks announces on Twitter it's a 5-game suspension. Before you tell the player and the team? That's fireable. I don't care if it was a 1-game suspension. You don't leak. Why does it leak to Kevin Weeks? Like, you didn't even leak it to like Wayne Gretzky or someone who's got some goddamn clout. Kevin Weeks gets the scoop. Mickey Mouse. George Peros, you're a joke. The whole Gary Bettman, how in the world do you run this when you have a leak to Kevin Weeks? Oh, I nearly fell over. I nearly fell over. What kind of, like, that's so inept. That's on, like, bordering on, like, you know what we're going to do, guys? I got a plan. We're going to really increase the ratings. We're going to really make the Leafs happy. What we're going to do is let an ex-NHL goalie, a third-string goalie for the Vancouver Canucks and some other teams, we're going to tell him, and we'll get him to put it on Twitter before we actually tell the player and the team. Well thought out, guys. Well thought out. Oh my God! There's someone there who's like the whistleblower. Oh, Kevin, can you believe it's 5 games? If George Peros doesn't get fired for that, what is he going to get fired for? How do you leak a suspension? Unbelievable. Like in any other type of business, you're fired today, George Peros. Today. Not tomorrow. Today. I'm sure the Leafs are losing their ever-loving mind right now. It won't matter because no one listens to the Leafs, even though they make more money for the NHL than any other team. Check out your apparel. What a joke. Anyways, 5 games. Again, 5 games? You got to be joking me. Jacob Trouba he tried to take a guy's head off. So let me get this right. Here's what their reasoning is behind this, okay? Now, unfortunately for you, let me start off before I go on the 5-game suspension. I hear people say, oh, Toronto fans, Ottawa fans, they're arguing. No one's arguing with an Ottawa fan. Ottawa fans are inept. Toronto fans can be inept too, but Ottawa's on a different level, okay? If the same thing happened, you think that me, as a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, would not be screaming at the guy who did the slap shot into the net. Let's say Nick Robertson took a slap shot into an empty net. You don't think I'm going to go out here and call Nick Robertson an idiot? You haven't watched my videos. You don't do that stuff. I'm one who didn't like Darcy Tucker. I didn't like Ty Domi. You know why I didn't like Ty Domi? Because he elbowed Scott Niedermayer with a cheap shot that cost them in the playoffs. You know me, I was screaming about it. I didn't think it was a good play. I thought it was stupid. I thought Darcy Tucker, I used to call him Sideshow Bob. Play the game, you're good. Don't do the sideshow crap. It's not needed. Jumping into the Ottawa bench was stupid. You would hear that from me. So if Nick Robertson took a slap shot into an empty net, you would hear me go off on Nick Robertson. You want to know why? Because I'm not a biased fan. What Ridley Gregg did was stupid. Now, the reasoning behind it was because he didn't know he was going to get engaged or something. He wasn't engaged. What did he think was going? Why? Can I ask a question? Why did Ridley Gregg slap shot that into the net? Please tell me why he just decided to take a slap shot. With a slap shot, he could have embarrassed himself and missed the net. Why did Ridley Gregg take the slap shot? For you idiots out there, why did he take the slap shot? Why didn't he just snap it in the net? Why didn't he just pass in there? Why did he take the slap shot? You want to know why he took the slap shot? Because he wanted to piss the other team off. He also knows it's the last game against the Leafs this year. That's why he took the slap shot. He took the slap shot to piss the Leafs off. That's why he did it. Oh, you can't score a goal. Oh, there's rules for not scoring a goal. Well, let me explain to you why he did it that way. He wanted to piss the Leafs off, and he did. So good for him. Now, if I read the reason of the rule, he didn't expect contact. What did he expect? He just pissed the Leafs off. They thought they were going to go, oh, Ridley, nice shot. Bravo, bud. Bravo. He knew they were coming. And if they didn't come, they wouldn't be a great team. The only thing Riley did wrong was he cross-checked him up high. He should have cross-checked him in the hip. Or he should have dropped the gloves and punched him. Tell me, oh, there's a rule. What? Give me a break that he didn't know it was coming. Again, just answer the question. Why did he take the slap shot? Oh, something to do, Bill? Please, if you think that way, if you didn't know Ridley Gregg was trying to piss off the Leafs by taking that slap shot, you're a goddamn moron. Go watch another sport. I hear there's a good game of tiddlywinks going on around here. If you're that much of a moron to understand why he didn't take it, oh, you got rules against how you score goals. No, there's no rules. It's called showing another team up. There's also a reason why, when it's 7-0, you don't put your top power play lineup to score it to make it 8-0. There's rules like that. Or when you're up 8-0 and you score a goal, you don't give her the how's she going. If you think that we haven't played hockey, and please, whatever. Anyways, 5-game suspension. Let's look at it. Did Ridley Gregg play tonight? Bill. Because the last guy who got a 5-game suspension was Brendan Gallagher. He hit Adam Pelech. Adam Pelech could not play the next game. Let's see if Ridley Gregg played tonight. Oh, look at the Ottawa Senators won another game. Wow, 22-25-2. On a roll, boys. Playoff bound. Playoff bound. Let's take a look at the box score. Did Ridley Gregg play? He scored a goal. Way to go, Ridley. 5 games for a guy that didn't even lose a game. Blake Lizotte took off Josh Morrissey's head and got a game. Jacob Trouba tried to decapitate a person and got a $5,000 fine. Matt Gresslick tried to castrate Max Pacioretty and got a $5,000 fine. Morgan Rielly goes over to a guy who apparently didn't see it coming and gets 5 games. You know what? Again, I disagree with it vehemently. And does it matter? No, it doesn't. What should matter to everyone, regardless of the suspension, is you have a Department of Player Safety that leaks news to Kevin Weeks before they tell the player. That has no integrity at all. That's the exact opposite of integrity. You tell the player first. Well, but I got a good scoop. Kevin Weeks is paying me under the table, Bill. Yeah, Kevin Weeks paying you under the table. Sure. Anyways, Ridley Gregg. Was it an empty netter goal that Ridley Gregg scored? Oh, no. He scored, looks like on a 5-on-5. Good for you, Ridley. 9th goal of the year. Way to go. 5 games is way too much. However, that's my opinion. What should be everyone's opinion is how in the world do you have a Department of Player Safety that leaks information? Like, what? It's mind-boggling. Mickey Mouse NHL led by Bettman. It's a joke. That pissed me off more than the 5 games. And George Peros, you should be fired. I know you got knocked out by Colton Orr, but you should be fired. And by the way, Leaf fans, there's no conspiracy against the Leafs. I've seen the more games suspended when George Peros is there. Yeah, he's a little bitter. He probably got knocked out by the ice. But I don't buy into any of the conspiracy bull crap. What I buy into is an inept Department of Product or Player Safety. They're inept. They can't have a conspiracy if they're stupid. If they're stupid, they can't come up with the conspiracy. They're just dumb and inept and should be fired. But again, now I had my little rant on that piece, but you saw in the first part of the video, I was very positive. Leafs, keep going. Johnny T, stay sick. I'll talk to you Thursday.